Greetings, my fellow internet travelers, as we talk some more about some music today. Today I'm going to do a review of the new Wilco album called Cruel Country. Wilco has always been one of my all-time favorite bands, and they had, of course, a couple of really masterpiece albums. Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is just a fantastic album. And the last, I would consider to be really top tier Wilco album is probably The Whole Love, which has been a while back. This one was billed as the kind of like Wilco's Return to Country album. And in some ways it is. It's definitely them reaching for something that they did more towards the early part of their career, with like AM and being there. But if you are expecting them to do like a clean step back to that era of the band, you're going to be disappointed, which I've read over and over again, and it is true. Um, if you've been following Wilco the last few years, Jeff's solo career as well, Jeff has really been a very active writing period for a while, and he's putting out just tons and tons and tons of stuff. And he's just writing like crazy, which is good and bad. It's good that you get a lot of material. I don't know if necessarily you're getting all the A-list material. He's just kind of giving us, I think he's just giving us everything he's producing. And so you're getting a lot of things that you got to kind of discern through. And there's a lot of, like, this Cruel Country is a double album. It's got 21 tracks. And, and there are really, really good tracks. I mean, there are definitely really, really good tracks. But it's something that you're going to have to listen to and kind of discern through what tracks you really want to focus on and what tracks you don't. I've actually kind of determined that I like disc 2 a little bit better than disc 1. So when I listen to the album, I've been focusing more on disc 2 and not as much on disc 1, which seems a little strange. But a lot of times with the double album, there's one disc that you like better than the other one. Usually it's the first disc, but not always. And but this is a very I don't believe there's any electric instruments on this album at all. I could be mistaken about that, except for maybe the bass. It's very acoustic. It's very kind of quiet, contemplative. There are some moments where they really do stretch out musically, though. Two of the best songs for that is Falling is the Many Worlds, which is probably the best track of the whole album as far as I'm concerned, which is the first track of side one. And then Bird Without a Tail is another one. There's another, and that one's on side one, towards the end of side one. So there are some moments where they do stretch out and get to some interesting things musically. Neal Klein is mostly playing steel guitar on this album. He does occasionally play other things, which might be where they get the country thing from. But this isn't, Wilco doing traditional country songs. This is Wilco doing Wilco with the country flavor, if that makes any sense. But, this is not. And, some people are like, well, it's not really country. I saw that in a couple of reviews. It's not really country. It's not real country music. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, it's closer to real country music than what, like, contemporary top 40 country music is. I mean, I'd rather listen to Wilco do an alt country attempt than listen to, like, John Michael Montgomery or whatever. I mean, those people are also boring. I mean, I can't tell one country Yahoo from the other, especially bro country. Your pickup truck and your beer, and at least these guys are actually talking about things. Another one of my favorite tracks is the title track, which is called Cruel Country. And I like the. And there's a little bit of social criticism in here, but it also is kind of like, I love my country, even if it is mean and cruel, you know? And I totally get that because I love America too, and I wish America was better. I definitely feel bad about it, but, you know, I haven't given up on my country, but I gotta admit, there's a lot of things about this country that definitely don't make me feel very good. So I can definitely understand and appreciate the concept behind that song. And then there's a song called "Falling Apart," and basically he's talking about, you know, it's I'm falling apart right now. I need you to be solid. You can't fall apart until I get better, which is kind of a, you know, a selfish, goofy thing, but I think some of us have been in that place before and we know what it is. It's like, no, I can't have you fall apart. I need you to help me. And then you can fall apart once I get it together. So, you know, I like that concept too. It's kind of a fun concept. So, Cruel Country, it's probably better than the last Wilco album, which is Ode to Joy. Um, it isn't one of Wilco's all-time great albums. If you do like what I did, I've disseminated down to like a 12 song playlist, and I'm pretty much gonna approach the album listening to it for those 12 songs. I will order the discs when they're available, and that's one complaint of mine. The one complaint about this is they decided to just release this digitally, which I don't have a problem with because I know that there's there's something going on where discs are backlog, and because they don't work with the traditional record label, they can release their stuff when they want to. The only thing is that I wish there would have been some kind of an option where I could have said I will get the digital files now, but I also want to reserve a copy of the CD or the album, and when those come out, I want to be able to get that because I don't want to buy something twice, if you know what I mean. And that to me is kind of annoying. If it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't have any problems with them releasing it right away. I just wish they would have said, hey, we know we don't have the album ready yet. We'd like to get you the songs now. If you want the songs now, that's great. If you give us a couple extra dollars, we'll make sure that the order for the CD goes in for you so that it's ready to go. And that would have been the only thing I would have liked about that. If they would have figured out a way to do that, I would have been happy with the arrangement. But Jeff keeps writing and writing lots and lots of songs. My only concern about that, and what does seem to happen a little bit, is while he's still producing good songs, it almost is diluting his output. I almost wish that instead of this kind of quick creation of songs, that maybe he'd go through and refine the work a little bit and maybe dig a little bit deeper into some of these songs. Um, and so, if what I would like to see Jeff do is get into something that's a little bit deeper and start kind of digging in behind and, you know, developing these songs a little bit more. These songs, a lot of them, they only seem to have a very, you know, like basically the story behind this album was every track was recorded live in the studio, which is great. You know, it's fun that they did it that way. But there is a part of me that would really like to hear like a real thought out studio album, you know, where they really go for it, like something like Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, like The Whole Love, and so, or even Sky Blue Sky. So I would like to see Wilco kind of reach out again and try to get a little bit more complicated in the future. But I will take what I get, and Jeff Tweedy is an amazing songwriter. He's one of the most important musicians that are currently active writing today, and I will take what I can get. So thank you guys for listening. Have a great day, and goodbye.